Sarah, whatever will be, will be. We're going to Wembley. Okay, Sarah. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Cup final day. I didn't even plan to film this video today. I had problems, as you would have found out in the video I made last night about Roman Abramovich's statement. Before I go any further, there has been a new statement, but it's not like a big thing that I need to do a whole separate video about. So don't worry about that. Like, I'll say it right now, before I get into looking into the cup final. As I say that, my internet dies, so that's great, isn't it? So this is what Chelsea had to say. It's just about the conflict in Ukraine. The following statement has just been published. The situation in Ukraine is horrific and devastating. Chelsea FC's thoughts are with everyone in Ukraine. Everyone at the club is praying for peace. So it's not like a massive statement, but Chelsea have come out and addressed the situation after last night's news from Mr. Abramovich himself. And I assume that was because, obviously, with Abramovich being Russian, it's kind of like, oh, we can't really say anything because, like, you know, we've got links and that. But now we can, which is proof that Abramovich has probably stepped back and he is not currently in the ownership part of the club at the minute. Right, onto the game then. So, obviously, Liverpool are second in the league at the minute, chasing down Man City after they dropped points against Tottenham. Our last domestic final meetings against Liverpool were a 3-2 loss in Cardiff in 04-05, and a 3-2 win in Cardiff in the League Cup final in 04-05, and a 2-1 win in the FA Cup final at Wembley in 11-12. You may remember that was about a week or so before we went and won the Champions League final in Munich. So we are Chelsea's come from major finals in successive seasons in the longest in club's history, despite not lifting the tri-handled trophy. This is the Carabao Cup. It's got 3 handles since 2014-15. The world champions are London's first and most recent League Cup winners. It's what we do. It really is what we do, and it's also the first domestic final Chelsea have reached without leaving London. So you may remember we had Aston Villa at home, we had Southampton at home, then we had Brentford away, and then we had 2 legs against Tottenham, both home and away. So we never left London, and we still don't, with the final being played at Wembley. It's great. You know, that's given us a confidence boost because this is our city. And it's great for Thomas Tuchel because this is the 5th final he's been in, and he's reached the final and everything in the 398 days that he's been manager of the club, such as the Champions League last season, Super Cup, and Club World Cup this season. So we've got that confidence going into this game. Oh, we've won 2 trophies. Why can't we win another? There's definitely no reason why we can't win this game, and Liverpool, we're saying the same, but we are the underdogs going into this game, I believe. I'll check that out as I'm talking, but we are the underdogs, so Liverpool will be expected to win, but let's just make sure that they don't. Okay, I haven't got the odds, but honestly, let's go and prove that we are a top team. In recent contests against Jurgen Klopp, Tuchel's won 2 and drawn 2, so he hasn't lost, and 3 of them were in England. One league game last season and 2 this season. So something has to give on Sunday, as Chelsea won the last 6 games across competitions and Liverpool won 9. So here's a key stat for you. Chelsea are the first club in the history of English football to compete in a major final over 6 consecutive seasons. That is something, because obviously we've had 2 years of FA Cup, year before that Carabao Cup, before that another FA Cup. It's great, it really is. So on to the team news now. So Mason Mount was on the bench after injury on Tuesday, but he will be back in contention for today. Mateo Kovacic were obviously influential in the last game in the Champions League, but they both went off injured, which was terrible because Kovacic is instrumental in getting goals from the midfield, and Hakim Ziyech is the one getting scoring all the goals in a minute. So we were terrified, but they are back. They've recovered and ready for the final, along with Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Reece James might be in contention for a game, but he's probably going to be on the bench because Tuchel said he jokes about it. He was like, we will see if I'm crazy enough to play him or not. So we'll have to see what happens there, but he can be expected to be in the matchday squad. N'Golo Kante, Christian Pulisic and Havertz are gradually rediscovering their form and are likely to be in the team today. And it's the only other question is whether we'll have Kepa or Mendy in goal, because they're both great goalkeepers, but obviously there can only be one. Mendy's our number one, but Kepa has been our cup competition keeper throughout, so it'll be a tough one. Now let's look back to the games earlier in the season. Our first game at home against Liverpool was a 1-1 draw. You may remember that Kai Havertz scored the superb header, and then Anthony fucking Taylor absolutely shafted us by giving a penalty and a red card to a handball that wasn't a handball after he went to the VAR monitor, so video assistant referee, and looked at a picture because his bald head doesn't have the capacity to think or referee. And then in the latest game, it was a 2-2 draw. Chelsea going 2-0 down to Mane and Salah before scoring 2 in 3 minutes just before half time from a wonderful Mateo Kovacic volley. That was just outstanding, and I did jump up and scream my head off because I didn't know how to react, and I tried recreating it at school, but it didn't work because it is very hard. And then also from Christian Pulisic, a lovely taken goal from him too. And then no goals in the second half, saw 2-2. So, how did the two teams reach the final? So, Liverpool got here by a 3-0 win away to Norwich, a 2-0 win away to Preston, a home 3-3 draw with Leicester, and eventually obviously winning on penalties, and then drawing at home 0-0 to Arsenal in the first leg of the semi-final before beating them 2-0 in the second leg. Chelsea have had it a bit more difficult, but like I said, never left London. So they had a home visit from Aston Villa, which ended 1-1, with obviously Chelsea winning on penalties. And then we also had another 1-1 against Southampton. Reece James for the second tie in the competition in a row, smashing home the winning penalty. Obviously Kepa influential in both of them. And a trip to Brentford saw us win 2-0, and then we beat Tottenham 2-0 at home before going and winning 1-0 away in the semi-finals. So Liverpool are on some good form at the minute. They did go a goal down to Norwich about half an hour into their match, but then they did go and absolutely smash Leeds. I believe it was 6-0. So they're on some good form. And Klopp's been running a 4-4-2 recently. However, he was and it's worked against other teams, but it's never worked. He hasn't used it against Chelsea, so I wouldn't expect him to use a 4-4-2. I'd expect him to use a 3-4-3 potentially, like Tuchel does, to sort of cancel us out, and because that's the way German tacticians like to play football, because they use their wing backs. So how can you watch the final? So the final is kicking off at 4:30 p.m. BST, British Summer Time. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Sorry about that. And we'll be live on Sky Sports. It'll be on Sky Sports main event most likely, maybe Premier League as well, but no, it'll be on Sky Sports main event. And Chelsea TV's Matchday live show on the website and Fifth Stand will feature Joe Cole and Glenn Johnson, which starts at 3:15 p.m. if you want to head to that. But the match is on Sky Sports at 4:30 kickoff. So in the Carabao Cup, obviously throughout you don't have extra time; it goes straight to penalties. In the final, you do have extra time. And if it's level at the end of stoppage time, extra time will be played, and if it's necessary after extra time, then penalty kicks will be as well. But Chelsea have won the past 3 shootouts, including Super Cup against Villarreal, and as I said, Aston Villa and Southampton. And Liverpool have lost 2 of their last 3, but beat the Blues 7-6 in 2019 Super Cup. You may remember where Adrian saved Tammy Abraham's penalty off the line, so a bit of cheating going on, but that's the way it is. They can have their Super Cup because we've just won it. It's the 9th time the 2 teams have met in the League Cup, but the first to be played at Wembley. Chelsea won 4 of the previous ties. Liverpool have only won 3. You may remember back to times of Didier Drogba. It's dated all the way back to 1977-78. Round 2 at Anfield, we lost 2-0. Then round 3, 2001 at Anfield, we lost 2-1. Before beating them in the final at Millennium Stadium 3-2 in 04-05. Round 5 winning 2-0 at Stamford Bridge 07-08. Again at Stamford Bridge in 11-12. Round 5 we lost 2-0. Back to Anfield in the first leg, we drew 1-1 in 14-15, so the same season in the second leg, we went home and won 1-0, and obviously that's 2-1 on aggregate. And then 18-19, Anfield, round 3, we won 2-1. You may remember Eden Hazard's wonderful solo goal, ran around the defence into the box and smashed it home. So come on, like honestly, it'd be good. Just remembering that goal is something special, it really is. This will be the Blues' 26th appearance at the new Wembley Stadium, when, as used as a neutral venue, the most by any club, and Liverpool's 8th. The Reds have tasted victory in one of their previous 7 visits since the Twin Towers were replaced by an illuminated arch. The Blues have lost our last 3 finals at the National Stadium. So we've got some bad history to put right again. But like I said, it will be the Blues' 26th appearance. Manchester City are second with 19 appearances. So pretty good from Chelsea. On to the final part of the video, my squad for this match. So I would put Mendy in goal, purely because he is the slightly better keeper, and we need like as much solidity as we can. And then in defence, I'd have Silva, Christensen, and Antonio Rudiger. Left wing, or left back, I'd have Alonso. Right back, I'd have Azpilicueta. Actually, I'm changing it Alonso to Hudson-Odoi. And then we'll have Mason Mount and Mateo Kovacic and Kante in the middle. And then we'll have Hakim Ziyech on the right, Kai Havertz in the middle, central striking role, and good old Christian Pulisic on the left. And I believe that will be the winning team. So my prediction for this game is a Chelsea 2-1 win. So come on, Chelsea, don't let me down, because times are tough at the minute, and we need some happiness, especially with all this Ukrainian thing hanging over the club around Abramovich. So if we can shove that to the side a bit and bring in Chelsea have won the League Cup, that would be absolutely stunning, instead of Chelsea have lost the League Cup after this happened last night. but we are with you, Ukraine. So stand strong. You are doing superb against Russia, so keep on with it. With all that being said, guys, I'm going to go get ready for the final. I have my snacks, more downstairs, a lovely bit of alcohol as well, so we are all good to go. So with all that being said, guys, keep the blue flag flying high, and come on, you Blues!
Chelsea, Chelsea, no one can stop us now. Chelsea, boys in blue, Chelsea, Chelsea, we love you. Chelsea, our love is true, no one can stop us now. Chelsea, we're the team. Chelsea, Chelsea, we're the cream. Chelsea, we're supreme, no one can stop